Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Kendra here, and today y'all know what we're about to get into. We're gonna be talking about these foundations for women of deeper skin tone. Now, of course, this is not. I'm doing my brows right now, y'all. This video is not about how to do brows or anything like that, but I want to get these brows popping for y'all while I'm trying on these different foundations. I know I've never done my brows on camera. I normally already come on camera with my brows already done. But in a few minutes, we're going to start talking about different foundations for women of deeper skin tones. I know you guys have probably seen some videos out there. I'm going to tell you guys what I did. Maybe it'll save some people some money in trying to figure out the right foundation for you. For many years, I did not wear foundation. I didn't do full coverage at all. Y'all, I didn't do any type of full coverage because I just could not find a foundation that looked good on my skin tone. And I guess because my skin is not terribly too bad, and I mean, you know, and this is nothing against anybody who have acne prone skin, you know, because you have to deal with what you have, you know, so you do, even if you have oily skin and you have problems with acne, part of helping your skin cells not to make so much oil, part of that is skincare. So regardless of what type of skin you have, whether it's acne prone, dry, oily, you need to do skincare, okay? And that's going to help minimize a lot of acne. When I was in high school, God, y'all, I wish I had some pictures of my skin when I was in high school. It was awful. I mean, I had a lot of bumps. It was very bumpy, but I got into skincare early. Today, we're going to stay focused on these foundations. Now, I have a few foundations that I have tried and used that I know some of my favorites. Some have worked for me. Some I used to use, I don't use anymore. Others are still my faves, so on and so forth. I'm brown skin, but I have a lot of gold undertones. So I would say, for the most part, one of the first things that you want to do is find out what your undertone is. Your undertone makes a big difference when it comes to finding foundations. The reason why I say that is because some of the foundations, if you get a foundation that has a cool undertone, cool and warm undertones. If you're gold like me, you're considered warm. So when you are of a warm undertone, if you try to put a cool foundation on top of a warm undertone, it just does not look good. I'm gonna show you guys what I mean by that, and I have some makeup remover here on go, ready, on standby, so I can show you guys the difference between a warm and a cool undertone. This one, Twofaced. This is definitely a warm undertone for me. This is in the shade Hazelnut. Okay, I'm going to put this foundation here on this left side. I'm going to show you the difference. When I put this Hazelnut foundation on the left side, you guys are going to see what I'm talking about. But I am going to go ahead and prime my face because I want you to see how these foundations look. This is my Bobbi Brown Mattifying Primer. So people seem to think primers don't make a difference. Primers do make a difference. And it absolutely matters what primer you're using, because some primers can change the undertone of the foundation. So you have to be very careful with that. I have learned my lesson with switching up primers and doing this and doing that, because what I was finding out is that it was changing my undertone. But the Bobbi Brown Mattifying Primer does not change my foundation color, and that's why I continue to use that one. But I'm going to go ahead and put this Twofaced on the left side because I want to show you guys what I'm talking about. Okay, and once I put this, I blend this Twofaced in. I'm only going to do half of my face because I want y'all to see the difference when this dries down. Some foundations tend to oxidize, okay? And when I say oxidize, I'm going to go ahead and just explain that, because when I used to watch these YouTubers, they used to use these terms, and I'm like, what you talking about? What is that? You know, since I cater to beginners, I'm going to explain to you guys. I'm not going to just assume that you know what I mean when I say a foundation is oxidizing. When a foundation dries down and it starts to oxidize, what happens is it changes the color. The properties in the foundation tend to change once it dries down on your face. So it goes on one color, but then once it dries down, you'll see it change. The colors will change. And normally when it oxidizes, you'll get a gray tint. You'll get a gray undertone, which you can see a lot on women of deeper skin tone. Like, for real, Ken? Like, I don't know why I can never remember with my sponge, y'all. I can never remember before I start my videos. I can never remember to wet the sponge. It's a chance to, I'm going to give it a chance to dry down. Y'all may not be able to, I don't know. I hope you guys can see this on camera. You may not be able to see it. I hope you can. But I can see it very, very well. If I look straight ahead, one side, you see the side with the side on the left has the Too Faced, and it's starting to dry down, but it is not oxidizing. A lot of the foundations will not, well, they've gotten better. Let's say that. They've gotten better. It wasn't always like that, because that's why I didn't do full face, because of the foundation oxidizing. But this Too Faced is it's really close to my skin tone. I mean, it's so close. I could do my whole face in this and you wouldn't even know I had on foundation. I have done this before in the mirror, off camera, and now I can show you guys the difference. Now on this right side, I'm going to put this Estee Lauder Double Wear on, and I'm going to show you what the Estee Lauder does. And I hope you guys can see the difference, because I have tried everything known to man to make this Estee Lauder work for me, and it just does not. It just doesn't work. It oxidizes bad, and when it goes on, it looks like it's just like the perfect match for me when it goes on. But once it dries down, once it oxidizes, it looks gray. It just looks gray. And I hate it. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. When I wear double wear, I have to contour in order for it to not look so gray on me. I have to contour. And I just don't feel like you should have to contour when you put on your foundation. I just don't feel like you should have to do that. I just think in this day and time, you know, they just gotten better with foundations that, you know, no one should have to contour with foundations. I just don't think you should have to do it. You know, y'all know I love to contour. That's if I'm doing a full face makeup and I want to contour. But if I just want to put some foundation on and run to the store, I'm not contouring and go to Publix and buy groceries. I mean, for what? I mean, what am I contouring for? I'm not doing all that. But I will say this. The double wear has when I say keeps me matte, I like the matteness that it has. It keeps me dry, very dry. I stay matte all day. I mean, I have no problems with oil when I wear double wear. If you want a matte look, I would say if you can find one that does not, this is the third color I have tried with Estee Lauder to get a close match off with my skin tone, because all the other ones that I was using, it oxidized so bad I look like The Walking Dead. Now this color is 6W1 Sandalwood. It's the color on this one, Sandalwood.
Guys, I wanted to stop the video right here for a minute. I paused and I zoomed in so you guys could get a real close look at this foundation. I want you to understand that the 6W, the W in this foundation stands for warm. So it is a warm foundation. It's an undertone with a warm foundation. However, when it oxidizes, it gives me more of a cool look. What it does is it starts looking more neutral on me. I run into this problem with neutral foundations where they look more cool on my skin tone and not as warm as I want them to look. But I want you guys to understand this is what's going on with the double wear. It's when it oxidizes, is when it changes everything. As you could tell when I put it on, it looked very warm, but as it began to oxidize, it started to look cool. If you look real close at my forehead, you can see the line between the Too Faced and the Double Wear. And if you look on the Too Faced side, I look a lot warmer, which is closer to my skin tone. But if you look on the side with the Double Wear, everything looks a little paler. I look pale, like I don't have color to my skin. And that's what I mean when I say it's oxidizing too much. You don't want a foundation that's going to oxidize on you like that when you have a deeper skin tone, because it will make you look pale. Okay, so I just wanted to clear that up so you guys will understand what I'm talking about. Back to the video.
So if you want to try it, you can. I would advise you to let them give you a sample of it. Let them go ahead and put it on you in the store. You go home, let it dry down. By the time you get home, it would have oxidized. It would have done everything it's going to do, and you can walk around the house and you can see how it looks on you and what it's doing. But it's definitely, it takes about a good about 5-10 minutes for it to oxidize completely, and then you can get a good look, a good feel for the foundation. But I would not just go in there under those lights inside of the store and let them put it on and say, oh yes, this is awesome, and then get a whole bottle of this stuff because it's expensive. Get a whole bottle of this, and then you get home and you're like, oh, I look dead. Don't do it. I'm just advising you, do not do it, because you're going to be disappointed. The finish on the Double Wear is phenomenal. It's pretty. I love it. If I was going to wear Double Wear, I would definitely wear in the summer months, because the summer months is when I make the most oil. Winter months, I don't make as much oil, so I can wear a full face of makeup, foundation in the winter months and not have to worry about making so much oil. I don't see the greasiness. But if I was to take off, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take off the left side, because I can see it. I don't know if you guys can see it now. Now you got my natural skin tone up against the, I don't know if you guys can see it. Can y'all see it now? I don't know. I don't like it. I just don't like the fin. I don't like the coolness of it. It just makes me look like The Walking Dead. And when I go out in sunlight, you definitely can see it when I go in sunlight. So for that reason, Estee Lauder is not a foundation that I would recommend for someone of a deeper skin tone. I just did this to show you guys what I was talking about, but I don't necessarily recommend Estee Lauder for someone of a deeper skin tone, simply because the darker you are, the deeper you go up in their colors, the more oxidation you're going to see. So that's why I don't necessarily recommend it. If you are a lighter skin tone, I think Double Wear would be pretty on you. It's going to have a nice finish. If you love matte, it's definitely the foundation to go for. If you want a matte finish, I have not found a foundation out on the market that get as matte as Estee Lauder. None of them. And I'm talking about get you matte without a primer. Estee Lauder, you can put Estee Lauder on all day without a primer and you will stay dry. I mean, like super dry. Another foundation that I truly like, you guys know I have used this foundation several times on my channel. That is the Cover FX. I'm in the shade M100. Now, I love this stuff. This is by far my, hands down, one of my favorite foundations to use. I use this one on a daily basis, Cover FX. Y'all, I love this stuff. You see how it goes on? I got it on this. I'm putting it on the left side. I love it. It is so pretty. When I tell you, it's such a pretty finish. It's a matte finish. And I didn't put my primer on this time, but you see this Cover FX? Y'all see how it looks when I put it on? It is so pretty. I love this foundation. Once I started to put my powder on and everything, but one thing I would say about foundations, if you can get a foundation that just looks good without the powder, without the contour, without the concealer, I mean, like, y'all, that's what you want. You want a foundation that matches your skin tone off to the T. They have not really made a BB cream for women with deeper skin tones that does not have those great undertones to them. And I know because I've tried a lot of BB creams. You know, BB creams you like to use just to kind of give yourself a flawless, radiant look. Like if you just want to run to the store and come back, or it's a light day for you, you don't really want to put makeup on, you're not trying to contour or put on eyeshadow that day, you just want a flawless look while you go shop and do your thing. You know what I'm saying? BB creams, they haven't, I don't know of any. If anybody knows of one that they've come out with that does not have great undertones, please leave it in the comment section. I would love to try it. But I have looked at a lot of YouTubers that's close to my skin tone, and even they're saying the same thing, that there are no BB creams out like that. This is my skin tone. This has nothing on it. Dry skin. Dry skin. This is Cover FX. Cover FX, their finish is just, I love it. It's on point. I love it. My second choice, this Cover FX would be my first choice. My second choice that I would probably go with would be, if you want light to medium coverage, I would say go with the Burberry. If you want full coverage, I would say use Lancome. Lancome. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, you can get full coverage with Cover FX as well. I think it covers very well. And what I do is light to medium coverage. I do like my skin to seep through a little bit. I do. I just want my skin to look a little flawless. But I do want my skin to seep through. Some people don't want their skin seeping through, and I understand it's okay. But for me, I like a little of my blemishes to show through. I don't want you seeing all my blemishes. You know what I'm saying? But a little bit is okay. A little bit is okay. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't gotta be cake face. I ain't gotta be all that, you know. Because once you start adding powder and concealers and all that stuff on there, that changes the game up anyway. So for me, I only use maybe one pump of the Cover FX, and I think it covered pretty well. Okay. Now mainly, if I zoomed in, I think you guys can see what I have mainly problems with is this. I'm losing the pigmentation up in here. That's what's going on with me. So when I put on mine, because let's get this straight right now. Nobody has perfect skin. Okay. I don't care who you are. Your skin is not perfect. You got a bump here or there, or if you don't have one, you're going to get one. So nobody has perfect skin. But for me, I have the light pigmentation right up in here. That's what's going on right here. So a lot of times when I put my foundations on, I like to even out my skin tone is what I'm trying to do. Even it out. I don't want to see the lightness going on. I don't want to see the yellowness peeping through, you know. But Lancome, I would say I like Lancome's foundation. Now I'm going to do the same amount, one pump. For the Lancome, I'm putting it on this side, y'all. Okay, so I got Cover FX on the left, Lancome on the right. And I'm going to show you guys how well Lancome covers. Lancome foundation is on point now. Don't get it twisted. As you can see, the coverage is better on Lancome. It covered up my little spots very well. Whereas on this side, I can still see some spots seeping through right here. But on the Lancome side, I don't see the spots. I don't see the spots hardly at all, really, on the Lancome side. And if you do more than 2 pumps, now I just did 1 pump on both sides. But if I did 2 pumps, if I went in 2 pumps, I wouldn't see those spots at all. But for me, like I said, I do like my skin seeping through some. But see, as you can tell, we got almost an identical match off with the Lancome and the Cover FX. It's like almost an identical match off. One just has a lighter coverage than the other one. If you like me, go with Cover FX. Cover FX finish is so pretty. It's ridiculous. It's so freaking pretty. Now, like I said before, this is my foundation of choice. If I'm going to a party or whatever, I'm pulling out that Burberry, baby, all day, every day. I love the finish on the Burberry. I get so many compliments on the Burberry. But what I have heard is that a lot of people don't like the Burberry because of its light coverage. It doesn't, they feel that it's not full coverage. I think you can build it up to full coverage. You can build it up. But again, I want to use 1 pump. You don't want to have to use 2 and 3 pumps of a foundation, especially because this Burberry is almost $60. So you don't want to use a lot of pumps to get the full coverage, to reach your full coverage. I think you could achieve full coverage with the Lancome 2 pumps, maybe 1, just depends. I think you get it done. Now, one of the another foundation that I think is good is Becca. Becca has a foundation. This one is called Sandalwood, I believe. Same as the Estee Lauder that I don't recommend. Becca's foundation is good. I do like it. The only reason why I stopped using Becca's foundation, y'all, I haven't used it in a while. I stopped using it when I ran up on a Cover Fix. Because Becca's foundation, this is what it looks like on my skin. See that? I put it on, you can't even see, it's a match off. Clear, it's a clean match off. But what it is that reason why I haven't used Becca's foundation in a while, not because I don't like the coverage or the finish. I do. I love the finish. See how that's a nice finish. Nice matte finish. I like the cover and the finish. It covers very well. The problem is Becca's foundation does not hold my oil. I get oily up in here. By the end of the day, this is really oily. And Becca's foundation just does not hold. It doesn't hold it for me. But if you want a nice finish, nice matte finish, and this one is a little cheaper. It's a little cheaper, I believe. I think it's around $38, I believe. But it has a nice finish. If you want to just get started or start something, warm undertones, deeper skin tone, I definitely would recommend Becca's foundation. This is the last thing that I'm going to recommend that you probably can try for some of the deeper skin tone. If you have not found the foundation that you just absolutely love, you can try using a concealer as a foundation. I did this for many, many years before I found a foundation that actually worked for me where I could go full coverage. I found a concealer that I really like. Now, one of my favorite concealers that I use as a foundation is the NARS concealer. It's in the shade Dark 1 Cafe. This is a concealer, but I used to use it as a foundation for a long time before I found a foundation that worked for me. I mean, I was so fed up and tired of trying to find foundations that work. I was just using this as a foundation, and I was using it for full coverage, and it worked. The only problem, here's the problem, y'all. NARS charged like $35, $36 for this little bitty tube. This tube goes by so fast. If you are using it as a foundation on a daily basis, you're going to run out of this real quick. Real quick. And Mama got tired of spending all her coins on this concealer. So I was like, Lord, I'm going to have to find a foundation, because you can tell, I mean, you get way more. If you find a foundation that fits you, you get way more in the bottle, honey, than this. This goes fast. But I'm going to show you guys. This is what I used to use. And I'm going to put it on the back of my hand so you guys can see. But, see? But I used to use it as I'm going to remove this left side so I can show you guys right quick how I used to do it. So what I would do, I would just put it on like this. And I would just use it all over. And then I would take my beauty blender. And as y'all know, when I'm using, because I like light to medium coverage, this worked perfect for me. Now, if you one of those people that want full coverage, no, I'm not going to recommend this, because you end up going through this, honey. You go through this so fast, you be hating life. I'm just saying. Because NARS will be getting all your coins. I'm just saying. You be spending so much of your money on this concealer, because actually, I mean, it just wasn't meant for that. It's a concealer, you know. It's not a foundation, so you're not going to be getting much in the bottom. But as you can see, I could use it as a foundation and get away with it, because it's a match off. See? And this is what I used to do before I found a foundation that matched off. This is what I used to do. And that matched me to a T, baby. And I will put that, I will put do my contour on top of this and keep it pushing. But this is what I would conceal with, like up in here, so those spots wouldn't show so much. I would conceal like right up in there. See? So I would use these two. This is what I would use. But it just got to be so freaking expensive. I was just like, oh my God, because I was going through the concealer fast. See? And that's what I did. But they're kind of expensive. So that's why I would recommend finding a foundation. The best way I would say go about doing it, if I'm not your color, know your undertones, go down there, because see, they'll try to tell you anything. I'm telling you, I've had people at these counters tell me that I'm not gold undertones, and I'm sitting here looking at them like, what you smoking? Like, I'm so gold, you can see it through my, like, you can look at me and see that I'm gold. What are you talking about? Just because I'm not fair skinned, I'm not light skinned, don't mean I don't have gold undertones. Like, what's your problem? Gee, what do you want? I mean, this is supposed to be your feel. I mean, my first feel is not even makeup, and I know that I have yellow undertones. Okay, anyway, it was a guy who did the matchup on this, and a Caucasian guy at that. I mean, he matched me to a T. I have not, for some reason, we have a problem matching our own skin tones. I mean, I don't understand. I mean, both times I was matched up, it was a Caucasian person who did it. But I'll tell you this, he did a darn good job. He matched me up to the T. This is my color to the T. I would say go down there, let them match you up. Whatever color that they choose for you, let them put it on you. Wear it out the store. If you're able to get a sample of it. Some places will give you a sample free of charge. If you're able to get a sample of it. Come home, look at what it looks like in the light at home or outside, and then make your choice from there. If it's too off, then go back and tell them, hey, this color is not working for me. It's off. This is not a good shade, and let them try and find some different undertones for you. Okay, because that's really what it amounts to. It really boils down to finding the foundation that is of good undertones. Juvia's Place, the foundations that they just came out with, I tried one of their foundation. The finish on it is very pretty. I did not put that in this video because I do not necessarily, I couldn't recommend it for me because I haven't found one that fit my skin tone. The color that I had chose one color based off of a YouTuber that I watched, that she and I were the same color in some other foundations, but when I got that foundation, I realized it wasn't a good match off. But Juvia's Place foundation, I like it. I like the finish of it. It's just, it oxidized on me. And I don't really care for foundations that do too much oxidizing. If it oxidizes too much, it's going to start looking too gray. But when it oxidized so bad that I just look like The Walking Dead, I won't have nothing to do with it. Okay? Zero, zilch, zip. I won't have nothing to do with it if it's oxidizing like that. So, but guys, that's it for my foundations that I recommend for women of deeper skin tone. And I didn't even talk about this one. This one right here, if you want a drugstore foundation, I would recommend the Maybelline Fit Me. I didn't talk about the Maybelline Fit Me, but the Maybelline Fit Me, Maybelline has come out since I have tried this one. They have come out with another one, and that's probably the reason why I didn't talk about this, because I believe that in my shade it is 355, I want to say. I think it's 355 in my shade. This is 360. 360 is just a little bit off, okay? But I believe in 355, I think it's a clear match off for me. I don't wear this foundation anymore like I used to, simply because I've gotten much better foundations. And why was I'm just saying why do it? That's the Maybelline Fit Me. That's number 360. But I would say if you're my color, go get 355 and the 360. Take them home, see which one works for you, and the one that doesn't work, take it back. Okay. I would say do a comparison, split face side by side with each other, or take them off and match them one side clean face with the actual foundation, and you'll see how close it is to your skin tone. That's what I would say do. But that's it, guys. That wraps up this video on my foundations that I recommend for women of deeper skin tone. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Please share and subscribe to my channel, y'all. And until the next video, I will see you soon. Bye, guys.